Hey, welcome back to the channel. My name's John. Today is day 54 of my 2-month Fasted-Thenics challenge. Going to start with the numbers. Today I weighed 175.6 on the scale. Blood pressure was 120/71. 64 milligrams per deciliter for blood sugar, and ketones were at 3.2 millimoles per liter. So I've got an idea. It just kind of came to me in the last couple of hours. And I'm not going to reveal it tonight. I'm going to think about it a little bit and kind of, really put it down on paper and figure out exactly what I'm going to do. But I'm thinking about making a change. I have an annual physical on Monday, and on that day I'm going to be having lab work done. And obviously there's a few different tests that they're going to do for the annual, and then I usually request a couple of things, and the doctor that I go to is really receptive to those ideas. So I'm gonna have to go and do that. I'm going to probably drive down to Atlanta and get a DEXA scan done as far as a body composition test. So I think I'm going to make a change after Sunday. So I pretty much have to fast 12 hours before they take the blood for the lab work, and the appointment's at 10 a.m. on Monday next week. So that means from 10 p.m. the night before until 10 a.m. The next morning, it's nothing but water. Which is going to be relatively easy because I'm usually done consuming anything by 7 or 8 o'clock at night anyway. So anyway, so I'm thinking about making a change until the end of the fast. I'm looking at some of these numbers and looking at the trend lines comparative to last summer, and I'm like, what is going on? So I'd like to change something in order to see if I can impact those numbers for the last 5 days. So anyway, I appreciate you watching. If you've got any comments or questions, leave those below in the comments section. And if you've got a suggestion for a food to break my fast on day 64 next Friday, not this coming Friday, but a week from Friday. So it's really starting to get to the end. And anyway, it'll be Friday afternoon. I'm not even sure what time zone that is in Hawaii. So I'm going to break it with something Hawaiian and something, not necessarily healthy. So if anybody's got any suggestions, I would greatly appreciate it. I know there are not too many people watching these videos now, but I need to think of a way to kind of drum up some excitement towards that day of breaking the fast. And I'd like to do it with a live video. So I'm going to look into how to do that, and I'll probably post a few videos on the way to Hawaii, and hopefully that might add some excitement, because I'd like to share this with more than just my family. So it's going to be, to me, it's going to be a tremendous thing. I remember last time when I broke the fast after, it gets exciting if you fast for 5 days or 7 days. It's a tremendous sensation. Your taste buds just kind of kick into high gear, and salivary glands get going. And one thing I experienced last summer on August 1st, towards dinner, I think we went and ate pizza and wings, and the funny thing was my jaw muscles were tired. I couldn't finish, like, chewing a piece of pizza was making me fatigued. So anyway, there's just a lot of unusual things to experience when you've gone this long without having eaten food. At 54 days today, so 10 days from now we'll be at day 64, and that'll be the end of this fasting series. So anyway, I'm going to wrap it up. Thanks for watching. If you like the content, if you think you're going to like the future videos, which will include kind of compiling some of the information that I've been keeping track of during the 2-month fast, please subscribe. because I'm gonna make a really good effort to produce some videos that are obviously much better in quality than this, but hopefully be able to put the information that I've got together in such a way to make it a little more interesting. And one, it's going to be valuable to me. I always kind of geek out over the numbers anyway, but to me, the amount of time that I spend researching and compiling and doing these little experiments on myself, it doesn't make sense for it to only benefit just one guy, you know. And I do talk about about it with some people that I run into contact with, but it's few and far between that would care anything about doing something to this extreme. And I'm not recommending this to anyone, but I know there are going to be some people out there that have done things similar to this, and you're going to be curious about what kind of results you get when you narrow down some of the things that you're doing as far as intake for nutrition. What kind of results does that produce? And I've obviously made some huge changes in my life over the last 10 years, and this is kind of a more recent thing, these long-term fasts, and I'm finding a lot of benefit in it. I find a lot of value in some of the things that I experience on a regular basis, and I know some of you out there are going to do something similar on your own outside of a doctor's supervision. And now obviously I go and get lab work. Usually last summer I got it before, in the middle, and then after. And this time I didn't go before. I got kind of a workplace screening where they took a little bit of blood for some smaller tests like lipid panels and that kind of thing midway. And now I'm going to an annual physical next Monday, which will be day 60. So it's not like I'm completely oblivious to what I'm doing to myself. And I am, I've got a good sense of what my body can handle. And I could go into a lot of examples of some of the seemingly, comparative to a normal average person on this planet, some of the things that I do and choose to do that most people would just be like, "God, that guy's crazy." I don't know how many of you have put a roof on your own house. That's a perfect example. So anyway, I appreciate you watching. I hope that you're finding value in these videos, and it'd be great if you give me a like, subscribe if you think you're going to be into this. And if you know somebody that really geeks out over this, or some friends or something that might just think it's interesting, just shoot them my way. And especially for day 64, because last time I think I even teared up a little bit when I started eating. It was a breakfast, and it was nothing special. We just were at a diner, and just eggs and bacon and that kind of thing, and a cup of coffee, because last time I went both months without any coffee too. So it was nothing but water for 4 weeks. And then after that, I took an electrolyte supplement, which tasted like, I don't know, like a weird tasting lemonade or something, raspberry lemonade. And then there's the bone broth. And the bone broth is great. Don't get me wrong; it's much better than just nothing. But we're going without a lot for a long period of time. So just all of the pleasure of like the tastes and the smells, the chewing it up in your mouth, all of those things, you take it for granted when you're eating every day. When you go without food for an extended period of time, just smelling someone else's dish is almost satiating. Is that the right word? It's definitely kind of like a substitute. You're not eating, but you get to at least smell it. So I enjoy doing that when I can. Obviously, not obviously, maybe, but my wife is looking to get into better shape as we get towards this vacation trip. Obviously, there's lots of pictures to be taken, and Most people make a good effort, especially on a larger trip, to try and get looking healthier and feeling healthier, because you know you're going to put on a little bit of weight, 5, 10 pounds, whatever, when you're going on a trip like this. And I generally eat one meal a day, sometimes two, maybe like 2, 3 days a week. I might eat 2 meals, and that second meal might be just like a can of sardines, a can of oysters, or some eggs for breakfast for the second meal. And then dinner would be, I'd say probably 30% of the time, it's just a big, huge salad with all kinds of stuff in it. But when you go on vacation, you kind of splurge a little bit, because it's not just about interacting with the people that are there. It's also about checking out some of the interesting history or some of the older architecture of the area. It could be like plants, landscaping, foliage, trees and bushes and flowers that you just don't have in the area that you live in. And then there's food. Obviously there's lots of touristy, like zip lines and stuff like that. I try to stay away from that stuff for the most part, unless I just get a wild hair at my, but the food is always a part of it. It's always like, let's check out and see what this area is known for as far as sandwiches. If you're in Cuba or South Florida, you're going to get a Cuban sandwich. If you're in New Orleans, you're gonna get jambalaya, or some kind of Creole dish or something. I mean, you kind of like go for what the place is known for, just to experience it. So Hawaii has got a lot to experience, and those people know how to eat some fruit and bakery and lots of Asian dishes. Lots of American stuff too. And there's some unusual, like those, I forget what they call them. It's just like kind of a lunch plate with, what do they call that? Loco Moco. And it's basically like rice and hamburger patties and gravy and macaroni salad and who knows, Spam sometimes. So anyway, I'm rambling. I hate when I do this. It makes the video way unnecessarily long. I appreciate you if you're watching still. I apologize for the ramble. It's kind of a thing that's difficult to break with me. So anyway, thanks for watching. We'll see you in tomorrow's video. Bye.